So I'm going to start actually with the bottom of the deck. And the reason why is because that's the general energy. I'm using the Good Tarot. And the bottom of the deck, I get 9 of Fire, which in the traditional deck is 9 of Wands, which is about looking deeper, analyzing. Hi everyone, welcome back to No Light Tarot. My name is Holly, so grateful to have you all. Let's get into this reading. I'm really excited to have you all. Please subscribe for more. In fact, I did get some messages that some people sent me saying that they had been unsubscribed and that they needed to resubscribe. So please make sure that you're subscribed. I don't know why YouTube does that sometimes with certain people, but it is what it is. Okay, so let's get into this reading. Thank you everybody for joining. I'm doing Jennifer Lopez career update. I also have memberships available. I have 2 memberships. One of them you get early access to videos and so forth, many great perks. The other one is career. Excuse me, what am I saying? The other one is learning tarot. I did start also a book club that's coming out very soon, so check that out. And yeah, let's get right into this. I'm excited to be doing this. Welcome back. Okay, so I'm doing Jennifer Lopez career, like I said. And it's funny because a long time ago, I think like 2 years ago, actually. Yeah, 2 years ago. I did a reading. If any of you can remember this, because everything's coming to light right now. I did a reading and I said that, you know, JLo is going to have this whole like romantic, she's going to be pushing the romantic side of everything. People are not going to fall for it. I didn't see this much backlash coming forward, but I was just mostly focusing on her love life. I wasn't really focusing on her career, so we're going to focus on her career. And I'm going to have cards up throughout the video. So this is a personal story. I've heard many stories about JLo and people that used to work from her that I know personally. And I used to work at this yoga studio in LA, and she was never there when I was there, but I would hear stories through the front desk because I used to teach yoga, and I would talk to the front desk. In fact, I used to work at the front desk sometimes, but I would talk to the front desk, and they would say in Beverly Hills, but I used to front desk in Koreatown. Long story short, I used to only teach at Beverly Hills. So like in the crossover, we would tell stories and stuff, you know, and one of the front desk associates used to tell me, oh yeah, JLo would come in and just like be very rude and demand, her and A-Rod used to demand that they would have classes, but there was already class, but they wanted to have a private class, and she would pay extra and just be very high maintenance and basically want to evacuate a class just so that her and A-Rod could practice yoga together, which I thought was kind of insane. She would have repercussions, allegedly through this person. She would have repercussions. I don't know why this person would lie to me, but that's what I would hear via this other person when we would have our celebrity. I have a lot of celebrity stories, horror stories and good stories. When I worked in LA, when I lived in LA, worked in LA, and in New York, which I have done before. If you guys want me to start doing them again, I will start. But I've heard horror stories about JLo for many years. You know, I knew, and Cameron Diaz and JLo, I've heard horror stories. In fact, I met Cameron Diaz too. She was not very nice. But those two I've heard very horror stories about. It's very sad because I met, I'd say half and half, you know. I met some wonderful actresses who've been so sweet. Sarah Jessica Parker was one of them. She was lovely. Who else? Sarah Jessica Parker. Robin Givens was fantastic, wonderful human being. She's come take my yoga class. I met quite a few, you know, that have been wonderful, and I've met some real nightmares. Like Adina Menzel was so rude. I couldn't believe it. It's horrible. And I didn't really know who she was, and I was trying to pronounce her name because she was taking my yoga class. But yeah, it was just, and you tell these stories to people that aren't in the industry, that don't know anything, and they call you a hater, you know. So I would tell stories that I would hear about J-Lo to people, from personally hear about J-Lo, and people would call me a hater, all this stuff. So I'm not happy it's coming out, but I feel vindicated that the truth about these celebrities is finally coming out. And I have said for many years, I feel like she did the casting couch route. I said she doesn't sing her own songs. In fact, my ultimate story, and I'm going to stop talking about myself after this, we'll get into the reading, but it's just interesting that a lot of what we have seen, you know, those considered the haters that were just telling the truth. When she did the Motown tribute at the Grammys, I thought it was very disrespectful. There's so many other Motown-inspired people who have real roots in Motown that can actually sing, that could have done it, you know. And number one could have been Beyonce, even though I think Beyonce's pushed way too much. Alicia Keys, like there's so many Motown-inspired artists, Solange, so many other people could have done it. You could tell that there's a machine behind J-Lo. And it's interesting that now it's all coming to light. And that's what I love about this age of Aquarius. The truth is coming to light. So, let's get into the reading. I wanted to just an energy of her career, what's going to happen moving forward, and how people are going to receive her, how people are going to respond to her. It's going to be very interesting. So, yeah. So I'm going to start actually with the bottom of the deck. And the reason why is because that's the general energy. I'm using the Good Tarot. And the bottom of the deck, I get 9 of Fire, which in the traditional deck is 9 of Wands, which is about looking deeper, analyzing, you know, oftentimes about journaling, taking inventory. And because she's so upset, something that I love about J-Lo, I do love this, she works her butt off. And I appreciate that about people, you know. I think that's her New Yorker side. And, you know, she is a Sun and Leo, and I usually love Sun and Leos. It's very unfortunate. In fact, when I would hear stories, I was in denial because I had admired her so much. You know, I used to do choreography to her songs. I was obsessed. I've always loved... I don't like pitting women against each other, but if it was Mariah Carey versus J-Lo, obviously I would choose Mariah Carey. But J-Lo is a very strong dancer, performer. Her style is on fleek. She never has a day where she looks bad. And I know that's a lot of pressure. It sounds kind of silly, but she gives you glamour, you know? And I love that glamour. I think it's very Hollywood. So that's really something that I admire. So with the 9 of Fire, she's looking, because she's so obsessed with fandom and stardom, she's looking and she's like, hold on a second. What did people like about me? You know, what did people appreciate about me? And it's very me. A lot of artists are, you know, I suppose that's what propels them into fame. But it's very me. What did people like about me? What can I push about myself? So, with 2 of Fire, the World, and 7 of Water, she's going to act. It's going to be so an act. Which... I wouldn't say she's a great actress. I would say mediocre. I do really love Monster. I think I might watch it tonight. It's a really good movie. But I love Jane Fonda. That's what I, you know, steer towards. I like old Hollywood. I think the actresses those days were way better. And like, I don't know, I just prefer old Hollywood. But something that she is very good at, she might have a lot of Cancer in her chart. She's going to push this maternal thing. I wasn't going to say this, but I did meet one of her children at some point. I don't want to say how, because she deserves privacy. Or they, deserve privacy. I'm not going to say which one. But I did meet one of her children, and they were very lovely. Very well behaved. Very lovely. I don't want to make this child thing, because I always think children are off limits. But when people raise good children, it makes me think, oh my gosh, there's something this person's doing right, you know? So I did meet her child, and I feel like she's going to push... I see like an innocence. She wants to push the idea with 7 of Water, which is in the traditional deck, 7 of Cups. She wants to push this idea that I'm a good mother, she's going to steer from this diva to family. I'm a good mother. People like me and my family. You'll see her mother more. You'll see her children more. You'll see Ben more. But that relationship, I think, is on its last leg. You'll see a lot of her children, family, like I said. Her sisters coming out to support her and to rally behind her, because she's going to push this I am a woman's woman, you know, and she's going to use her family for that. And I do think she's a good parent. Like I said, I met one of her children and they were very sweet, and I've met a lot of celebrity kids that are not very nice, so that's usually an indicator. A lot of children in general, you know, you meet them and you're like, oh wow, they're nice or they're not so nice. But yeah, so I just want to say that I did. I forgot that actually. I'm just remembering. Let's think about her children. I did meet one of them. So with King of Fire, recently actually too. It's in the last, when was it? Yeah, last year? Last year? Yeah, it was last year. Or 2 years ago. I don't know. So with King of Fire, 10 of Earth and 8 of Earth. So particularly regarding her relationship, she wants to have this image, and I did say this, go back and watch some of my videos. I will have cards up in the video about it. She wants to have this image about her relationship that they're so in love, but it's very money based, you know. She's going to present him, especially because he's getting a lot of reward from being seen as this person that J-Lo loves, that as like this wholesome couple. But everybody knows, well, not everybody knows, let me not say that, but it's just it comes across very insincere and disingenuous, because he hasn't been a good guy in the past. And I'm not saying we should all be held to the past things we've done, but past behavior is a good indicator of future behavior. And I don't think he has really dealt with his demons enough to have really, really changed. And because of that, the castle's crumbling. We're going to start hearing rumors. And that's when she's going to steer towards her children, like push this image. Mark Anthony's going to come out, support her. Yeah, so that's what I see happening. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I love you all. Take care.